Sharif D. King TV, King Sharif, Janae Music. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, good. Glad you're here. You got an accent.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
You got an accent.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You got
That's
an accent.
crazy.
I was watching the On the Radar freestyle.
Okay.
And even a lot of people were commenting saying like, "Yo, she sounds like Nicki." What's the comparison like?
I have no idea. I don't think I sound like Nicki at all.
You've never heard that before.
I've never heard that.
Ugh.
And that's no shade, because, I mean, you know, Nicki's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't think I sound like her.
That's good. That's good. You're owning everything about you, and you gotta love that. Now you are in the GoGo scene, and I've seen you moving around a little bit. What's it like being in the GoGo scene at this stage of the game?
Honestly, it's fun. So I think that, you know, people from outside of the area, they don't really have an understanding of what that looks like or what that even feels like. So for me, it's like growing up in it, this has always been a part of my lifestyle. So it's like, it feels like I'm just kind of sticking back to my roots, because I don't generally make go-go music. And so it's like, for me to be doing go-go music is so fun. And it feels like, you know, now I'm back in my inner child, you know, even just like, because my dad really is the one that really linked me, introduced me to go-go. So it's like, now this new connective tissue to my dad, it's actually, it's fun. It feels
fun.
good, yeah.
I like it. So how do you go back and forth? How do you juggle the two? Because seeing you on the radar, freestyling, and then seeing you on a go-go scene, it's like you're getting the same person, but two different elements.
You know, all right, so this is the thing. I tell people this all the time. Like, I'm super versatile, and I feel like I'm every woman. You know what I mean? Like, there's, like, parts of me that are, you know, hardcore. Then there's parts of me that's, like, real soft. I'm a little butterfly. I'm a baby.
Oh, no.
And then, listen, you can be whatever you want to be in this world. And for me, I'm everything. I feel like I'm a chameleon a lot of times. Like, and it's not even on purpose. Like, I adapt easily just because I'm adaptable, and because I feel like everything, I relate to everything. I just connect to everything. So I honestly, it doesn't feel like I'm bouncing back and forth. It just feels like expression for me. So like, it goes from when I'm singing, doing R&B, then doing go-go, then rapping. Like, it all is just another side of me. They all still me. It's all a part of me. It's just another form of expression, another way that I express.
And you do express yourself. I want to say, this girl right here, she was addressing so many different people, but she might have just been talking to one when she was calling somebody a weirdo in a freestyle. Who made you that mad to call them a weirdo?
All these niggas make me mad. I'm not even lying. Like, this is the thing. This niggas really be weird. That's why it came out. Like, I thought about all of the things that niggas be saying and doing, and I'm like, that's some weird ass shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and everything I said in the song is literally conversations that I've had with somebody. Everything I said is something that someone has said or done to me, or said or done to someone that I know, like, in my space. I literally, like, tweeted on, I put on Twitter, and I was just like, what's some weird things that niggas be doing? And some of the things that were just coming back to me, I was like, whoa, these niggas be weird.
So is this like industry people? Is this like people in the industry that's coming at you, jumping in your DM? Or is this people like, oh, this is a regular guy just trying to shoot his shot?
I think it varies. Mostly, I feel like it varies. Like, regular guys are gonna, you know, I'm a regular person. Celebrities are also regular people. So I don't know. I just feel like everybody, most of the time, industry dudes don't really come in my DM. Most of the time, that's an in-person conversation. Because, like, once I meet them, you know, everybody got this celebrity about them where it's like, all right, yeah, I carry myself, I'm this, I'm that way. So social media, I haven't really had a lot of interaction with celebrities on social media. Maybe a couple, but not like a whole lot. And most of the time when I meet like a celebrity in person, if we have a conversation, then it'll, you know, if I'm trying to, like, I feel like a lot of times I get like this little shunned moment. I met an executive one time, and he's very popular, very famous. Everybody knows who he is. And he's a good looking dude, but for me, it's like, I need what I came for. So I was like, you know, he kept staring at me the whole time that we were in the same space. So I was like, now I feel awkward, because now, like, I know you're looking at me not on no music tip. I'm looking at you on the music tip. And I know you're really looking at me because you're like, okay, yeah, I like that. So now I feel like, how do I go about this? And sometimes I feel conflicted. And so when I approached him, I was like, you know, nice to meet you. You know, he introduced himself, and I was like, well, I just wanted to be clear. I'm an artist. And, you know, how do I go about whatever? He immediately pointed me to somebody else. Yeah.
Is that something that you deal with all the time? I think a lot of artists don't talk about this on the come up, especially women. They don't talk about what it's like, especially now. Entrepreneurship is big. You see a lot of female artists coming up, a lot of women coming up in the game and trying to get on. And that's one of the things they don't talk about until they make it. Has that been something that's been like, you know what, let me second guess this. I don't know if I want to do this.
What, second guess doing music?
Yeah.
No. Honestly, I feel like I'm not going to let nobody deter me from what I came for. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I feel like no matter where you go, I take me with me. And so I'm okay with, you know, being attractive. That's the whole, like, who wants to be ugly anyway? Like, I'm okay with being attractive, you know. I just want to be respected. I just feel like, you know, if you come at me respectfully, we'll be good. But I have seen some women start talking about just how men carry things in the industry. And for me, I would never say names. I would never put nobody on the spot just because it doesn't, you don't need that. Like, I'm not giving you free press for that, honestly. You know who you are. You know what you're doing. But I do feel like, you know, men don't understand that you put money in a woman's pocket and you help a woman build up her life. That's a whole different level of respect that she would have for you. So when you just trying to dick a bitch down, I mean, because dick is everywhere. Like, you didn't do nothing special that the next nigga can't do. I need something that somebody asked me the other day, like, they was just like, they were DMing me and they was just, honestly, it says like, he's an A&R and he works for such and such label, da-da-da-da. And he DMing me and he like, yeah, you should let me take you out, this, and that. And I just responded, I was like, I'm not really interested in dating right now. You know, I'm focused. I'm trying to accomplish things. And he was like, well, you know, how could I get your attention? And I was like, by contributing to what I'm trying to accomplish, like pour into my success. That's what I'm looking for. And nigga, it say you an A&R. The fuck? It literally says Janae Music right there that you're messaging. So why are you still going? And now, and I swear, like weekly, he sends me a message like, you should just really let me take you out. Like, oh my God, you look so amazing.
Hard.
I was like, you can't read. And he was like, you can't read. You ignored my message. I was like, okay. Now I just moved them to the little other section that I don't have to respond to no more. Because it's like, once you do that, I don't know.
So is it easier to focus now that you have that mentality? You're just like, you know what, I'm not dating. Let me just focus on music. Let me focus on moving around. Let me focus on the goal, getting on stages, killing stages. Is it easier to focus now that like you're just moving around like that with that mindset?
Not necessarily, honestly. I'm going to keep it 100. I am a relationship person. So, like, I'm one of them people that flourishes in relationships because I think that a lot of people try to walk around and act like, oh, I don't need nobody. I don't need love. I got me. This is, you know, everybody has this men. And it don't, because it ain't just women. It's men, too. Everybody.
She's ready to attack.
I'm not ready to attack you. I'm just saying I know you date women. So, if you date women, you and the women. But I'm speaking on both women and men. And women and men, both alike, like to act like they don't need the other person or they don't care or they good with life. And I get it because honestly, I'm good with life too. But at the end of the day, there's still that yearning for that love, affection, or having that person, somebody to support you, somebody to rock with you, whatever. So for me, I'm one of them people that like, if I have my person, I have tunnel vision. So I don't see nobody else but my person anyway. So it really don't matter about who trying to talk to me, who what, because honestly, a lot of times I end up dismissing it. So it's like, I don't have to worry about dating. I don't have to worry about trying to figure out what, you know, my next step looks like in a relationship or, you know, being concerned about you out here wilding and you talking to me, but you talking to these bitches, this, and that. Like, that's not, when I'm in a relationship, I'm not thinking that we good, we together, we locked in. So then I can focus on everything else because I'm not concerned about you because you're solid and I'm solid. So we good. But when I'm single and then I'm entertaining or, you know, somebody want to take me out or whatever, I feel like, okay, I'm bored. Yeah, let me do that. And then when I do that, and then if I get my feelings involved, or if I start to like this person, or even if it's just you just taking up my time and I could be putting it elsewhere, when it's not even worth it, the trade-off isn't the same, it ain't equal. So I don't necessarily feel like I'm more focused because of it. I feel like I'm one of them people that's like, when I have my house in order, I can focus on anything I need to get done. But when my house not in order, I'm trying to get my house in order while still trying to get done everything I got to get done.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about the journey. You know, we talked about how it can be, executives coming up to you, you moving around the industry, things like that. But let's talk about the most rewarding about being in this industry and coming up as an independent artist.
Most rewarding? That's the thing. Every person is different, and everything is going to vary based off of who you are as a person. For me, I think I struggled a lot with really like saying like I've done all the things that like I feel like I haven't accomplished X, Y, and Z, or these are things that I want to do. But I actually recently was talking to a friend and they reminded me like, bro, you've accomplished so much. Like, be grateful for what you've done so far. Be grateful for where you are. And so with that, I've grown to be more content with my career and where I projected to. I feel like when I look at, what I've experienced, I'm like, dang, I've done a lot of things that a lot of people haven't been able to do. And that's really dope. So, even if people have, even some opportunities that other people have that I may have turned down, because I didn't feel like it was beneficial for me, but I see that it may be beneficial for them. I've gotten to the space where I'm like, different strokes for different folks. What works for you don't work for me, and what works for me don't work for you. So, but honestly, the most rewarding thing about just being an independent artist right now is just being able to move on my own time, being able to create my own music the way that I want to, because music for me is just a form of expression. It's how I get stuff off my chest. Sometimes it's just an idea. Sometimes it's just entertainment. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be so literal. It doesn't have to be, but it can be if I want it to be.
Sure.
It's whatever I want it to be. It's my baby. I make it, I mold it, clay it, whatever, and it just turns into whatever I want it to be. And so that I appreciate, that I value, that I love. I enjoy that part of it. So just being in control.
And you speak about just some of the successes that you have, being able to go through and be able to sit in it. Does it ever dawn on you that, look, I'm on billboards, I'm on these stages with these people, what is the goal going forward? Because I see a lot of go-go bands, they're not really signing to people. Mm-hmm. Is there even a goal to sign?
Well, see, with GoGo is a bit different from, the regular industry. With GoGo, it's always been a DC thing. And of course, I think it would be beautiful if it branched out. But really, in order for you to love GoGo, you have to be a part of it. Like, you have to go into a go-go, which is like a party. You have to go there in order to see. You got to go there in order to actually experience it and enjoy it. After that, then you can listen to it and be like, yeah, this crank. Because it really what it is, it's like one of those, is it, something that's traumaful where you experience something and you keep living it over and over again whenever you hear this, or it's like that, but it's enjoyable. So it's like you go to a go-go and you have such a good time that by the time you hear it in the car, you back in that same spot again. Like, now it's enjoying it. So that's a little different. When it comes to, the music industry, that's a general global thing, you know what I mean? So it's different. Everybody don't have that connection to go-go just yet. And we are, of course, are hoping that it grows. I don't think that people necessarily are looking for a go-go band to like sign to a label, because it's just not universal. And a lot of times, a lot of go-go songs are covers. So for me as an artist, trying to grow on a global side, it's just a little different. But being on a billboard and stuff like that, of course, it's really dope. And it feels great. I think it's just always that I want more. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I would love to be able to have this as like my sole income. Like, honestly, the biggest thing for me is my goal isn't really about me. Like, my end goal is really about everybody else. And so until I'm able to take care of everybody else, I don't know if I'll feel like I've accomplished all that I need to.
So do you want to put the go-go community on? Is that a thing? Like, you want to be the artist to take go-go international? Is that the thing?
Not necessarily, but if given the opportunity, I would. I don't feel like I could necessarily be the artist, to be honest, because I'm not a go-go artist. I've only done one go-go song, which I love. And I used to perform in a go-go band when I was younger, but in terms of just, putting artists in a go-go in the spotlight, I think that go-go has its own spotlight, honestly. And honestly, it's a national thing. It just hasn't grown big. But I would say it was on BET. They did the BET Awards, and so it's not like it doesn't have its place. It does, and it definitely has room for growth. I don't know if I'm the artist to do that, because I'm not a go-go artist per se. It was just, at the time it was like a one-off, like a feature. But, to work with more go-go bands, I would love to. Coming up, I'm about to do a show in Miami where it's going to be Backyard, which is a go-go band, and New Impressions, a go-go band. So really, most of the performances is going to be go-go bands, and then this is going to be me. But I'm looking forward to it because, it's a DC thing, it's a DMV thing, and it's like we're going to grow our city and our exposure to another level. So, for me, as long as we're getting on platforms, I'm loving it. I don't necessarily feel like I have to be the person, but what I want to be, yes. I want to be the person that be able to put the DMV on, period. I want to be able to go out and make it and be able to come back and create a hub here the way Atlanta has a hub. I want to be able to be that artist to say, okay, cool. Now we got a whole center for stuff. We're going to pour into our youth. We're going to start these programs, and just kind of get marketing, everything behind. So now the DMV is going to be where everybody want to move to. That is the goal.
Okay. So you did move though, right? You
I did.
Moved out. What made you leave the DMV and move to what? Atlanta? Mm-hmm. What made you move there, of all places?
Of all places, music. Well, like I said, because right now Atlanta is the hub. And the biggest thing is that Atlanta has a lot of venues. Mm-hmm. So I could throw my own events in Atlanta. I don't even have to be known in Atlanta. I could throw an event and you're going to have people come into the event because they have their venues are just always overflowing with people. Mm-hmm. They have so many venues and they have so many artists there. So, and then it's a supported community where everybody is connecting. They cross collaborate a lot out there. So after I went there, I kind of got that experience and I was like, okay, this is where I feel like I can flourish here. One, I would like to gain an audience in another city. I feel like, I've gained somewhat of an audience in the DMV area and it's like, okay, let me try to figure out and venture out how to grow elsewhere. But then again, like I said, going to a hub where they have stuff where it's like easily accessible. There's so many people. Once you meet one person, you're going to end up meeting another person. I met so many people and I've had so many opportunities in Atlanta just because, I just went down there. Just being available, being present. Like when I'm living in Atlanta, if I get a call, come to the studio. Like just being there is like boom, I can go to the studio and now I'm in the studio working on a song to try to pitch to another artist. You know what I mean? So just stuff like that, being able to have that access, I'm like, yeah, this is where I need it to be.
Don't get me wrong, Atlanta is popping, but you don't have to go to Atlanta. You could have went anywhere.
Where would you suggest?
Anywhere. You could have went to
Don't
Houston.
Say anywhere. You have to
went to Dallas. You could have came to New York.
Dallas?
Yeah.
What's going on in Dallas?
You make the music, right?
Yeah,
what's that? Find you.
That's not how that works.
How it works?
You got to be a go-getter. You know how many artists are in the world right now?
You're a go-getter right now.
Exactly. So I got up and got my ass to Atlanta.
I love the hustle.
I mean, if I say, I'm not one of them people that sit there and wait for opportunities to come. I don't sit there and wait for people. Like, it's so funny because when people talk, people ask me all the time, like, oh, how'd you get booked on this show? How'd you get booked on this? How'd you do this? Me? I went out and do my research. I found out who the point person is, who I need to contact, who I need to talk to, send out my emails, make my phone calls. I've researched. I found out and people are like, heck, you getting these opportunities? Yeah, I make sure I network. I talk to people. I pour into people. So people sometimes feel like they could pour back. Or, it's just a support system. You create that network and it's like, hey, I got this opportunity. I have this idea. And then you just kind of cross-collaborate.
Let's go back a little bit about the GoGo bands. CCB, you talked about that being your only song. Mm-hmm. How did it come together, though? I've always, like I said, I used to, perform in a go-go band when I was younger. But, doing music, I've been doing music for a while. So CCB is now, they're venturing out and they're trying to do songs with, other artists. And they're trying to cross-collaborate now. And so originally they were working with another artist. And he was performing with them a lot. They had like a kind of a residency in a way where they was going there like every week or every other week. And so they were performing a lot, and I think, I seen that, and I was like, okay, that's dope. So then I think that they just decided, outside of working with one artist, we'll start working with other artists. So then they started doing, they did another song with another artist, and then the manager reached out to me, and he was just like, hey, I have this idea. We want to do this song. And he was like, do you know it? And I'm like, I do know that song. I love that song. He was like, all right, cool. He said, let me know what you think. If you're interested in doing it, we did another song with another artist. And they sent it to me. And they let me listen to it. And I was like, this was amazing. And they was like, yeah, so we want to branch out. We want to start doing, CCB songs featuring other artists. And we'll just kind of cross-collaborate in that way. We'll connect with other people. So we'll just share our audiences and we'll share our perspectives. And we'll get music, in front of this person, in front of these people, and we'll just kind of grow that way. And I was like, perfect. So, they sent it to me. I was like, okay, cool. I learned the lyrics, and we laid it down. And then they was like, let's do a video. And I was like, okay. So we shot the video, and then they put the video out not even a week after we shot it. Like, it was so quick. I loved it, though, because this is the thing. Like, a lot of times for me as an artist, I sit on stuff all the time. Like, right now, I'm sitting on visuals now, and I just haven't. Why?
Because I think that they didn't come out the way that I wanted them to. I wanted something specific, and I didn't feel like I got it. And maybe it was just like a couple of missed marks. But a lot of times for me, like when I have something in my mind of how I see it, how I feel it, I want it that way. So then when it doesn't turn out to be that way, I'm like, I don't want it. So I'm sitting on visuals, and I've been sitting on it for months, and everybody like, if you don't put it out, and I'm like, okay. So then I'd be like, all right, maybe I need to do some marketing. But then as soon as I get ready to get it going, I get back into it and I watch it, I'm like, I don't want it. Like, I'm like, no. But it's like, it's not bad. The thing, honestly, they're good. It just wasn't what I wanted. And so because of that, it's like, I'm not doing it. But I need to. And I keep having this conversation and I keep sitting on it, but it's just, I need somebody else. I need somebody else just do it. Just put it out. And I ain't got nothing. I ain't nothing I can say no more. Once it's gone, it's gone. But because I handle everything. Everything is on me. I feel like I'm, again, that control. You know, so it's like.
Is it hard for you to have to do everything, the bookings, the music, making sure everything is in place? What is it to be a one-man band, a one-woman band?
Hard. I wouldn't necessarily say hard. I would say tiring for sure. There's a lot of back end stuff that people don't understand about the music industry and that they don't know. Like when it comes to releasing music and like registering your songs and all the places you have to register your songs and how you got to register your songs, how you got to release them, how you got to submit it. All those things that people don't understand, that people have teams to do these things, and I don't. So I do everything on my own. So it's tiring because like at the end of the day, I've done so much. But I think that the most difficult part is really not knowing certain things or like how to make things grow and having to figure it out on my own. And so I have people who will like send me stuff like, oh, try this. But I'm like, you don't understand that trying that means that I got to do all these steps. This isn't just try. It's just not like it's not as simple as a swoop and it's done. It's not like that. And people don't get that because they just see it as, oh, this could work. It could work. But it also requires all these other things. So I think the most difficult thing is just really trying to figure stuff out. Like even for me, like people think that people find it so funny when I say it because they're like, oh, well, you have a good following, da-da-da. I hate social media.
Why? Not you. Not the person that speak up all the time.
See, this is it. I like real life. I want to speak up. Like we can have these conversations and we can talk like this right here. I love this. Like we can have conversation for real. We not doing it to be on. I'm not doing it to. And maybe it's because I don't got to be the person to edit it. Yeah. I don't got to be the person to do X, Y, and Z. I don't got to push this shit out. You putting it out. Like, we're good. But if we just talking, like, I can talk. We could talk. We can hang. I like real life stuff. But when it comes to having to figure out how to get people to watch something, I just like the artistry of it. I like creating. I like doing. And I just want to toss it out there and y'all grab it, pick it up. But to have to push it like, hey, right here, look, check this out. You know, that's a lot for me. Even, you know, people living in this facade of like life is so perfect and oh, I'm so pretty and oh, I'm so this and so that. Like, that is stressful to me. Like, I'm a boy at heart. Like, I just want to chill, you know? Like, I'm not even going to hold you. I ain't got my eyebrows done before I came here because I was like, okay, I'm a little rough today. And even though I've been comfortable and in my skin, now I gotta be on camera.
Right. Get to it.
And it's the professionalism behind it. And so it's like I gotta put this, you know, put it behind me and just stop just trying to be me. But at the same time, it's like that social media stuff, it really feels like I have to create. I have to record me, manage me, and then create me and put me out to you to the way that I think you will like me. Mm-hmm. And I don't care for that. So people are like, oh, you gotta do content. Oh, you gotta do this. And I'm like, I ain't doing no damn content. Like, I'm not a content creator. I'm not. Like, I'm just an artist. I'm not, though. That's the thing. Like, I've done videos, and, like, I'll try to put them together. They look like shit. Don't put it out. I don't. Because I don't like it. I know. I struggle.
Let's talk about the GoGo scenario, the GoGo scene a little bit further.
Okay.
Can you name some of the top, like, GoGo covers that you've heard that just... When I come in and I hear a GoGo cover, I need to hear that, and that's what's gonna get me like moving. What is that?
So there is this thing going around right now where it's like GoGo songs that are like better than the original songs. So dang, I don't know the name of it, but Backyard, it's a Backyard song. Weezy sings it. I'm coming home to you, where something see through. It's by Raphael Sadiq. I don't know the name of the song, but that song. Best GoGo song ever. Then there is, I don't know, y'all. There's so many. I can't.
There's so many.
I'm about to say, and then honestly, I'm gonna tell you, GoGo is so all over the place for me that like I don't even be knowing which band sing what song. But I will say, what's one that I absolutely love? And see, this is not even the name of it, but because it's by CCB and it's an old CCB joint, and it's one that I sing all the time. And I can't even think of the name of it, but it's Gangsta. This one right here is for my thugs that be out on the block that show no fear. I can't even think of the name of it right now.
I'm gonna have to hit the Google search.
You are. Then any cover, honestly, all you got lay it down. It's Lloyd's Lay It Down, but it's a remake. That joint hard. T-shirt. The original song is by her name is Chantel, but don't nobody even know her no more. She was like a one-hit wonder, and it wasn't even a hit, but the song is dope. And now that it's a go-go song, psh.
I just wanted to dive into the culture because what I don't want to do is just be out here and not learn a thing. So you're in the scene. I want to learn a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You just have to come. What I can do for you,
I
can send you a go-go that you should go to.
Don't
You
play
should
with
come. You should come to Miami.
Here we go.
You should come to Miami. I mean, I'm performing. Backyard is performing. New Impressions performing. Literally, the top go-go bands in the area is going to be there. I mean, let's get it.
We're going to have to work it out.
Yeah, for sure. You got to pull up.
What about the influence of go-go? So you have people like Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper. They've sampled this stuff. And it's like it's gotten there. It's gotten that national coverage, but still not enough. Like, what about the influence that does it for you?
I think that it's just for me, go-go is just like that freedom to just get up and move. It's not a restrictive type of music. Like, it feels like every other genre is a genre. You know what I mean? Like, and go-go's a genre, but go-go covers all the genres. You can have rock and roll go-go songs. You can have rap go-go songs. You can have R&B ones. It's whatever. They got, you sing Sade over go-go. You can rap Lil Wayne over go-go. Like, it just covers all the masses. So it's like go-go to me is just like a combo. And so I feel like whatever I like can be converted into a go-go song. And it has no limits.
I see what you did there with the whole combo thing. Speaking of which, 4 for 4.
Okay.
EP. I'm wondering, like, were you at Wendy's one time and just like, this is a 4 for 4 kind of deal?
I'm not even gonna lie. I was totally about to have Wendy's as like my little cover, but I was like, I don't want them to sue me. Because they don't even have 4 for 4 no more, actually.
Well,
it's the $5 biggie bag.
Well,
fuck you, Wendy's.
Wow.
Because why would you go? What? An extra $1 for what? It's the same fucking food.
You mad at them?
They trifling and shit for that.
You still got the name, right? You still got 4 for 4?
I did.
Who won?
I won.
Who won? You only are talking about Cash App. Who Cash Apping you these days?
That's so funny you said that because I was definitely on the phone with somebody yesterday and I was talking to them and they said something. I was talking about money and they mentioned it and they was like, "What's your Cash App?" I said that's my favorite sound. We got off the phone. Not even an hour later, boom, send me money in my Cash App. I said, I know that's right. You listen.
What about making the 4 for 4 just really had you hype and thinking this is going to be the ticket out? This is going to be the thing that's going to put me on the big stages.
Honestly, so for me, 4 for 4 was really just it was again the combo, right? So a lot of people who have heard me over the years or over, a time period, I was just singing at first. And so I did R&B all the time and it wasn't really connecting. So then when I started rapping and it started picking up, everybody was like, "Oh shit, you rap now?" So then it was like people started really getting into the rap bag. And so I think that people forgot about the R&B bag. But then some people were like, hey, I need the R&B back. And so then I was kind of getting pulled every which way. So for me, again, music is the expression. So at that moment, I started making R&B songs, making rap songs. I'm going back and forth. And so then I'm like, dang, I don't know what I want to work on now. I don't know, what I want to drop. So then I had my producer, his name is D's Beats. Shout out to D's Beats. He was like, "Yo, Nay," he was like, "I've been working on these beats." And he was like, "And they all over the place. I just want you to hear them. They dope." He was like, "Pull up on me." So I go to the studio. He's out Baltimore, and I have a friend out Baltimore who actually is a writer. So I'm like, all right. And I hit him. I'm like, "I'm coming out Baltimore. We never get to see each other. Pull up." He was like, "All right, bet." So he comes to the studio. We all in the studio, and he starts playing the beats. And I'm like, "I like this one. I like this one. I like this one." And none of the beats had nothing to do with each other. No vibes, nothing was no connective tissue. I just was like coming up with like a line. Like, all right, once we put it together, he's like, yeah, I wanted to do a project with you. And I was like, all right, bet. So once we put it together, it happened to be 2 singing songs and 2 rap songs. So then I was like, but the thing about it is both of the songs, one is like a chill rap, the other one is a drill beat. One of them is got a little guitar, and the other one is it's a little Caribbean type vibe. So it was like none of these songs sound nothing alike. None of them have nothing to do with nothing about each other. None of them are, it's just not cohesive at all. And I was like, honestly, they could be served as singles. And so I really thought about just putting out singles. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it together as a project. And what I'll do is we'll still do visuals for them as if they were singles. And we'll just put it together. So I don't have to do all this extra, right? So then we was trying to figure out the name of it. And that's when 444 hit. And I was like, yeah. And they was like, 444. And I tried to play around with other names, like For You, for anything with the number 4. And they was like, nah, 444 is it. And I was like, all right, bet.
Well, what's the significance of 4?
Nothing. This was just 4 different songs, 4 different beats, 4 different lanes. I just feel like, people always be like, oh, you got 2 sides. But I feel like I got here, front, back, side, and side. It's just 4 sides. We all over the place with it. But honestly, I just wanted people to have, I felt like there's 4 songs where you would have at least one song in this project where you would be like, I like this one. If you didn't like, if you never listened to my music and you didn't check anything out and you listened to this project, and I just said, just give the project a play, and you played the whole thing through, you would come out with at minimum one song you'd be like, this one is the one that I like. And that's how I felt. So I was like, it's 4 songs for 4 individual people, 4 different sounds, 4 different vibes. And honestly, I just felt like it was a really great way for me to introduce and say, like, hey, I do both. Like, I rap and I sing, and it's not linear. So
since we're on the number 4, give me 4 of your top highlights that can really express who you are today.
4 highlights as in like 4 experiences?
Anything. 4 memories, moments, highlights that can express who Janae Music is today, right now, sit next to me. I ain't talking about 5 minutes ago before you came in here.
Okay.
Who you are right now, sit next to me.
Probably the biggest thing is that I'm like really close to my dad. My dad is one of my best friends. I feel like I don't even know how else to say. Like, I don't even know where else to go with that. I'm just really close to my dad. I grew up kind of really tomboyish because my dad didn't have any sons when, at first. And so it was like, he was like, all right, I only got girls. And he was like, you going to be my son then, I guess. So that's kind of how he carried it. I grew up with my dad, and I've always been up under his arm, on his hip. I played basketball my whole life. Like, so,
Nice.
I'm all right. I'm all right. So I guess that's one, I'm really close to my dad. So I know men pretty well, in my opinion, and not in a negative way, in a positive way, where I love and respect men, because I'm very close to my dad. And so I feel like I have a great understanding of men. I'm athletic. I've played sports my whole life. And I've done everything: football, soccer, cheerleading, everything. Let's see, I'm a mom. I am a mom. That is the biggest part of everything. That's why I'm so responsible. I'm able to manage things so well. I've been a mom since I was a child. I had my son young, and so that's been a big thing. And
let's pause right there for a second. Being a young mom, like you said, and doing music, is it hard to let yourself to be vulnerable since you are a young mom and since you have a son who's looking at you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm going to be honest. The most difficult thing is managing myself as an artist and not releasing my inhibitions because I have a kid. You know how, like, I've seen videos of people talk about, like, their kids, talking about they got OnlyFans and all that stuff. So it's like, of course, as a woman, I feel like I'm expressive. There's going to be sexual songs that I put out and stuff like that. And I know, like, they make him feel like, ugh. But, like, all the kids in his school and stuff that know him, it's like, it's not, it's a respect thing. They're like, oh, man, your mom's an artist. Like, they was like, your mom was on the radar. And he like, you didn't even tell me you was on the radar. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, but for them, they see stuff and they're like, oh, I seen your mom and this, And so, but I think that the biggest thing is just making sure that I remain, classy in a way where it's like, it doesn't affect him negatively, because even if I didn't have a son, I still feel like, for my future children, if I did have more, I just feel like I don't know, the way I was raised, it's just the way you present yourself. But at the same time, I mean, I'm still a woman. I want to be sexy. I want to be desirable, you know, and I also want to be fun. I like to turn up a little ratchet here. You know, I might twerk a little bit, but, you know, trying not to do too much. So finding that balance where it's like, I'm still me, but I'm still your mom.
Respect.
Yeah.
Give me the fourth one.
Fourth one. Jeez. 4 is so hard. You know, 3 is usually the magic number, but
That's
you
why
know.
we gotta go 4. That's exactly why we gotta go 4.
4. Let's see. I am a giver. I like to pour into people. And that's why I said, like, even like the music stuff, like, this isn't the goal. The goal isn't just for me, it's for everybody. I have this vision of, you know, the life that I want. I've always worked in like nonprofit organizations or like charitable, you know, companies and stuff like that. And so over the years, I've seen how people operate and how things are done. And a big part of me wants to be able to pour into the community. But one thing I have learned is that a lot of times we get funding from like grants and, you know, the government, and it's always like limitations to things. And it's about like, oh, you got this time frame and this has to be done. These are the rules and regulations. But I feel like, you know, for me, from what I've observed and what I've learned over the years is that nobody has the answers. And so when you give me rules and regulations on how to, you know, help somebody, most of the times it doesn't really fully work in our favor. So a big goal for me is to be able to blow up so that way I can pour into my community. You know, financially, I can already have the finances to do so. But then also I want to be able to have that connection and that network where other people will pour into it as well. So they'll be a part of that. You know, and of course everybody else wants to be around celebrities. So it's like, I'm going to be a part of your program. I want to be a part, you know. So that's the 4th thing.
There it is. When are we going to get a new project? February was the last time you dropped, right? Mm-hmm. When we getting something new? No pressure.
Honestly, so in my mind, I was like, I was going to release it in February, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do an R&B joint towards the end of the year, you know, cuffing season. That was the thought. But I ended up not releasing my visuals, and I've been stifled at this moment. So I'm in a stifle bag right now where I don't know what I need to do, because honestly, I've been trying to figure out how to just get into a space of release. I've been traveling a lot this summer. I got a tan. I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm brown.
Okay. Yeah, sugar.
Period. So I got my little tan. I've been traveling a lot. I've been in the sun this whole entire summer. And so now I'm like, all right, the fall is coming. I'm supposed to be releasing this daggone project, and I'm not ready to because I still haven't finished with 444 yet. So I think I need to drop my visuals, push me, and get that done. And then I can really make the next step. But I am working on a single right now, and I'm hoping to get a pretty cool feature on it. And if I can do that, you know, then that'll be the next thing. I'll release a single.
Nice.
And it'll come with a visual because I like visuals.
Before you go, I do want you to name, is there any females out there, any women out there that you want to work with from this area, from this region, from Atlanta, wherever, that has motivated you and inspired you, and just get on a track with them would do so much for you?
Man, there's so many women that I would love to connect with. There's so many women that I would love to work with. I mean, of course, there are like big names that like, it's like, well, duh, like, come on. But I would really like to work with Ari Lennox, just because she's from the area, and I feel like she's so creative, and I love her music. It's totally different from mine, but I feel like it would just be so fun to put us together.
I don't think it's so much more different, because I think you guys are so expressive. When I listen to your music, you're so expressive, and you don't hold anything back.
Yeah.
You know, so
and she doesn't either. She has no cut cards, but it's just so. I just feel like her style is a little different. So I just feel like us coming together would be really cool. So I would love to work with Ari Lennox. And then recently I saw Miss Kim. She's actually a singer from the DMV area, but she's a part of a GoGo band. And I just seen her perform, and it was just something really electrifying about her performance. I was like, yes. And I don't. Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't necessarily do. I'm not sure if she even like records or does like songs anymore. I just know she performs with a GoGo band, and she's like a legend in the area. So I really can't even be like, oh yeah, I want to do, you know, please let's do a song together. I don't really know how that works, but I just felt like her performance was just really dope, and she was just getting it. So it made me want to perform with her too. Like I was like, I want to be up there with you.
You might as well go ahead and just round up all the go-go bands together, and y'all just need to do a project.
That would be really dope. I think that it would be very overwhelming, but that would be dope.
I need that.
You saying me and every single go-go band, and we just
Get ahead and put it together, some gumbo.
Gumbo go-go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not
Give
bad.
me some credit now.
Not give me some credit. This is the thing. I don't know everybody in all the go-go bands. I do know somebody in CCB. I know people in New Impressions. I know, somebody from Backyard.
You think I'm worried about that? Next time I see you, this is going to be put together.
I like the way you think. I don't know if I'm going to be the one to do it, but I respect it.
There it is. Let everybody know where they can find your music, find you, all that good stuff.
Okay, my name is Janae Music. You can find me everywhere. I mean, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, Deezer. What's the other one? What is it? Napster. All them. Janae Music is Janae Music. I'm also on social media at Janae Music. So Instagram is Janae Music. Twitter is Janae Music _ Somebody's being a hater and not trying to give me my name for whatever reason, but it's fine. And then I'm on TikTok, but again, that's social media, and I'll be struggling with that. But I'll be having fun on TikTok. It's a cute little vibe, and it's Janae Music 1124. But yeah, I'm everywhere. What?
1124?
No, it's not my birthday. That was my last project that I put out a couple years ago. It was it was a big step for me. That was a good project too. So yes.
Go get that, man. Sharif D King TV, King Sharif Janae Music. Thank you.
Thank you.